Hi, this is Diane Delgado, and today I'm going to be covering makerspaces. And this is a very interesting topic that I found, and I thought it would be a great topic for my second graders and for me to implement this coming school year. It's pretty much a physical environment that gives you hands-on activities where the children are collaboratively working together to problem solve and to create or build and construct things out of everyday materials that could be either plastic materials, threading, yarn, plastic, I already said plastic, sorry about that, and cardboard, made out of cardboard. They could be small objects, medium-sized objects, or large objects. And pretty much just having them, practice using their critical thinking skills. And some examples would be like 3D printers when it comes to technology-based, laser cutters, and animation software. Those are some examples that could be used with maker spaces. And many school leaders are now getting this curriculum into the district where students are now exploring maker spaces in libraries as well as classrooms. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Michaela Dunn, and I'm going to be covering speech-to-speech translation. I selected this because I'm in a dual language classroom, so sometimes I have difficulty speaking with some of my parents who speak Spanish as their native language. So what speech-to-speech translation is, it's real-time translating. So the services, the machines who are doing the translating by 2030 should be able to accurately be able to translate oral and written communication at a very quick pace. And we actually be able to use this in the classroom and not be worried about there being miscommunications in between two different languages. A few things that makes this relevant is that now we would be able to look at podcasts or different type of educational videos in the classroom from other countries and people who speak other languages. And a way that this is relevant, it spoke about a Syrian refugee family who moved to Canada, and a student was able to complete his first semester in Canada using a real-time translation, and it also helped the family be able to understand the school system better. This focuses on the ISTE standard facilitator for the educator, which is 6D. And just being able to bring in a service or a video conference from somebody who's speaking another language, that's just opening up a different arena, different world for the students. And then also for the student, it would be 7A, which is them being a collaborator and being able to collaborate with people from different cultures. Thanks.
And Michaela, did you have something you wanted to add to Ms. Diane's video?
Oh, yes. So also at my school, children do makerspace in the library, and I haven't really gone in there to see much of what they're doing, but I'm glad that Diane was able to explain that kids are able to use objects that are everyday, because when they say they're going in there to make things, I'm like, what are you guys doing? But that's very cool for them to be able to use everyday objects and be able to take control of their own learning and help them to be able to process their thinking.
And just to chime in on your part, Michaela, I like the speech-to-speech translation. I went to a technology conference in Austin a couple of years ago, and they were doing it where Google had just rolled out where you can take a picture of anything, like a stop sign or anything like that, and it would translate it into so many different languages. Wow. And I thought that was really cool. So now to see them actually doing speech-to-speech, I think that's further.
Very cool.
I had the section that talked about the achievement gap. And basically, what he just mentioned was that now we're in the age where most jobs, you have to have some level of post-secondary education. And even the manufacturing jobs, we still have to have some level of secondary education or college education that they're asking for the employees to come in with. Also talked about, the report also talked about Pell Grants that are awarded to students who are in low-income homes, and how those award monies or grants have now increased more than 50% in an effort to close that achievement gap and having those students who are part of the low socioeconomical status enroll in college. And not just enroll in college, but also complete college. The article also talked a lot about how there are, in regards to technology, how there are now efforts on the college level to include technology in their efforts to close that achievement gap. So we have things like colleges, instead of students having to take those standardized tests to enroll in college, they have an opportunity to enroll in an online course and then submit an e-portfolio instead of doing those standardized tests. They also use technology to gauge student engagement, to kind of to get an evaluation for that nature. So you can definitely see that this is just the beginning of what we'll see on campuses in regards to technology. The substandard that I thought was relevant to this particular section was substandard 7A, talking about demonstrating alternative ways for students to learn, to demonstrate their learning. And like I said before, students are now getting the opportunity to do something different besides the traditional way of learning, or the traditional way of representing their learning. And so technology is definitely on the way.
Okay, and just to go off of you, Karen, I like how you said that students are now getting a chance to do something different in the way of learning. When I looked at the Horizon article, I found it interesting how they had it broken into 3 categories: the solvable, the difficult, and the wicked challenges. And when I looked at the wicked challenges, one of them was actually the role of the teacher. And I think with technology, it's hard for a lot of teachers and even librarians and administrators to kind of find their role and where they play a part still in the education. But looking through it and just thinking about reflecting on my own self, like as a teacher, I think that a teacher at this point still has a very valid role, but the role is just shifted, and you can actually see like the teacher has become a facilitator, and that just ties directly into the IDSE standards when it says that now the teacher is becoming an analyst and that the student has become an empowered learner. So I just thought that all tied in really well.
Do you think that eventually they'll start to offer some training for those teachers so they could be better apt to this change of their role?
I think it's already happening. I think it's not happening on a wide platform that we would expect it to be happening because technology is rolling out so fast. But I think it's already happening, and I think over the next few years we'll start to see it more and more.
Good deal.
Can I add something?
Mm-hmm.
I forgot to mention my standard. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Okay, so the standard that connected well with the maker spaces would be students empowered learning, 1D, where students understand how to select their technology and troubleshoot their technology. So yes, that's the one I chose.
Okay. Well, I guess that rounds up our Unit 2 conversation. So thank you, ladies, and have a good evening.
Thank you.
You too. Thank you. Bye.